Hey, my friends, I got an important story and with an important message at the end. I'm gonna try and make this as fast as I can. It's probably gonna be a couple parts because it is long, but bear with me. Forgive me if I stumble on my words. A lot of this is incredibly difficult to talk about and embarrassing, and I've not talked publicly about much of this, and some of this I've never told anybody. So here we go. So when I was 14 years old, I went catfishing overnight with a buddy of mine, and he pulled out some beer and a small bottle of Jack Daniels, and I drank it, and I thought, wow, this feels safe and this feels familiar. Well, then when I was 16 years old, I was driving my first truck that my parents bust their ass to get me, and I was going to pick up beer that a friend of mine and I stashed. Well, on the way there, I ended up going down the side of an embankment that was really steep, and at the bottom of the embankment, there was two huge tractor tires filled with thousands of pounds of cement. Both of my tires lined up perfectly with it, and it stopped my truck, and I flipped over and was crushed inside of the vehicle. Thank God nothing happened to me, but I was inside. The truck was still running. I turned it off, and I started smelling the extreme smell of gas while I was stuck in there. So I was kicking till finally the door bust open and I got out unscathed. Well, fast forward, I'm 22 years old. I went away on a out-of-town trip and I came back early, and the girl that I was dating that I loved dearly was cheating on me, and I found that out coming home early. It sent my drinking off like this. Well, then a few months later, I had a whole bunch of hours of working that I had accumulated for a friend of mine's family, and when I got to about $10,000, they decided that they weren't going to pay me. So that sent my drinking off like this, which led me to a huge mistake. I went to the bar and I was too drunk. They called the cops, and I ended up getting arrested. And when they found me, I had a belt buckle on me that was brass knuckles, and the car that I was in that wasn't mine had what they labeled as a leaded cane underneath of it, and they tried to charge me with 2 felonies. It cost me a lot of money, a lot of time, and a lot of shame and embarrassment for my family. Well, I got sober of alcohol, and then a few years later, I was in college, and I had a business opportunity come towards me that I felt like I couldn't pass up, and I decided to invest in this opportunity, and I got robbed, and I lost about $200,000 that I had worked so hard to save. Well, that sent my drinking off like this again. Then I had a very close friend of mine get murdered that I loved dearly, and I was at the gas station and pumping my gas right after this, and a girl says, "Hey, are you Eric from the other side of the pumps?" And I say, "Yeah, I am. Do I know you?" And she said, "No, you don't, but our mutual friend just got murdered, and I wanted to, she told me a lot about you and that she loved you and cared about you dearly, and I wanted to see if you wanted to go get a drink with me." I said, "Sure." And that night I made the biggest mistake of my life, and I drove after drinking way too much. Thank God I didn't hurt myself or anybody else, but I got a DUI, and that cost me a ton of money, a ton of time, a ton of shame and embarrassment upon my family. Well, then multiple things happened after that. I started another business adventure after I built myself back up. Ended up getting robbed again by investing in the wrong property. Lost a couple $100,000 again. Sent my drinking off like this again. Well, started my drinking is like this, where I get sober and then things happen and I end up using it as a crutch to forget. Well, then somebody called me and said, "Hey, I have an opportunity for you to buy some wood slabs. What do you think?" I didn't have any money, and that same day, I had went to Costco to return a mattress that I had because it had a malfunction in it and a manufacturing error. They gave me my $1,300 back for the mattress, and I took that money and I bought my first slabs, and that's how I got into this business. Well, A friend of mine and I constructed a bar that we ended up selling for $14,000, which was our first piece, and gave me the confidence to have what I have now. And that started that whole thing off. Well, when we made the bar and we finished it, my friend kept pushing me to celebrate with him, and finally I cracked and I had a beer and my drinking went off again. Then in these past couple years, I had an extremely tough heartbreak and was betrayed again by somebody that I loved, trusted, and gave my time, my energy, and my money to. And they betrayed me, and that hurt me significantly, and my drinking went off again. Then one night, I ended up riding on my motorcycle after drinking, and I woke up the next morning and was so mad at myself that I said, that's it, I'm done. And I decided that I'm getting sober off alcohol for the last time. That's it. And today, I'm celebrating 175 days off of alcohol. Well, in getting sober, I have had a bunch of cool things happen. The best thing that has happened to me is that I had a Kundalini awakening, and it's been amazing for what it has done to my life. I have been working so hard to raise my vibration and hold it high, and that is my number one priority in life right now. Well, through this, I have been doing a lot of meditation and a lot of self reflection and looking at my past. Well, I started getting these messages saying that you are going to have to face something incredibly difficult that your mind has forgot about, but your body hasn't. And several weeks, I kept saying, man, what is this? I kept meditating. Well, several weeks ago, I came to the realization that from the time I was 4 years old to approximately 11 or 12, I was sexually abused for years on end. And I was forced to drink alcohol and substances to scramble my brain. And a light bulb moment went off and said, wow, this is why this always felt familiar, and this is always why it felt safe, and this is why I've been abusing alcohol my whole life. And that was extremely hard to realize, because I realized how much I had been robbed of in my life because of this heinous acts on me, and also because of alcohol. Well, that was it. I said, wow, I'm never letting this steal anything from me. And that is why you have seen a video of me crying, saying that I might be taking time away from this business and I might be not answering the phone for a while, is because I'm dealing with a whole bunch of court issues because of this, because I'm getting justice for myself and for others that went through these heinous acts with me. So it's not about drugs. I'm actually sober. I got a lot of bad feedback on that video. People making fun of me, people sharing it, and people sending me screenshots of of messages that people said, talking about how I'm wild and all this stuff. But you have no idea what I've been through, and there's a reason why I'm sharing all this stuff. Then I just the other night posted a video of me vibing in my house, having a great time at my visual amusement park, sober as a nun. And if you look, I got the most shares, which isn't a lot, on the video, and a few people commenting, a bunch of people sending me messages talking about drug use and this and that, and making fun of me and shaming me and all this stuff. And I just want to say, if that offends you that I'm having a good time sober in my house, feel free to get lost, because I swear to God, I ain't gonna miss you. And the reason why I'm telling you guys all of this stuff is because I realized through all this that my goal in life is to have a wellness healing center so I can help people heal from trauma, because what makes me tick as a person is helping people, sharing, and creating as an artist are the main things that make me happy as a person. And I'm going to have a wellness center one day. So the reason why I make these videos, I don't need to put out a video crying, showing you my vulnerability of me crying, but I don't need to make a video of me being in my house having fun by myself and enjoying what I've worked so hard and sacrificed so much to have this, so much. You can't even imagine. This is just the tip of the iceberg, the things that I'm telling you right now. Well, I'm doing it because one day I'm going to be able to use this as an example for people that I'm helping, so they can see what vulnerability is and they can see what it is to heal, and they can help themselves through my pain and what I've learned. And I'm going to help people. Well, here's another thing, is that just this past week I realized through meditation again that I just got robbed for about $168,000 again, and through somebody that I loved, trusted, gave my time, my energy, and my money to. And this has been incredibly difficult. These things have been incredibly painful to face, but guess what? I'm a man, and men don't run from their problems. They face them head on, and that's what I'm doing here. And I'm sharing some of this stuff with you guys because I know that my purpose in life is a way bigger than selling live edge wood slabs. I love this business and I love my customers, and I am incredibly grateful for all of you guys following along this journey. But my path is leading me to something that can help way more people than just selling wood slabs. And I want to take this time right here to tell you guys that I am so thankful for all of the people that have came into my life because of these live edge wood slabs. It has been such a rewarding journey, and I'm going to continue to do this business. I love it. That's why, if you look on Google, I have 153 all 5-star reviews, because I treat people right, and I treat people with respect, and I treat people like I want to be treated. They say, live as if you're going to die tomorrow, treat others as if you're going to live forever. And I truly believe that. So if you were one of the people that shared my videos making fun of me or sending me messages talking about drug use and that things like of that nature, I'm sending you love. I'm sending you so much love, because I think it is incredibly sad that you think that in order to have a good vibe that you have to be on drugs to do that. And my heart goes out to you for that. And I hope you really take a look in the mirror, reflect, and heal yourself. And I'm such a nice guy that I'll help you heal. Just let me know. Reach out, I will help you heal, because that's what my whole journey is going to be. Heal with me is going to be my new message. Heal with me. So I just wanted to take a moment to share all that. This is probably going to end up being 2 parts. Because I can only upload 10-minute long videos, so I apologize for that. But I wanted to share a little bit of what's going on. Both of those end things I'm going to court for both of them, to get justice for this last robbery and for the sexual abuse that was inflicted upon me for many years. And I can't wait for the day when the judge strikes the gavel on all these people that betrayed me, because it's going to give me that much more energy to help people that have been knocked down and that have lost their light, because I'm going to help people find their light again. You best believe. So, as always, stack 'em up! And love and light, baby. Love and light. Let's go!
Stack 'em up!